Hey all, here are OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the Xiaomi Mi Box S. This is the latest iteration of Xiaomi's popular Android TV box, and finally, it's international. You can find it directly in the United States, either through GearBest, Amazon, even Walmart. An Android TV box will be able to do more than, say, a Chromecast, which can only mirror content from a smartphone. So with this, you can install any app from the Play Store, such as game. So there's more versatility at a very similar price point, which has made it a bestseller already, and it could be the best Android TV box for late 2018, early 2019, looking at value alone. And what's interesting is it does have a Chromecast built on in terms of the software. So it will be recognized as a Chromecast if you plug into a TV. So you can still share your screen or a YouTube video and send it to the TV. And it's also a 4K Chromecast at that, so Ultra HD. It also supports Google Assistant, so you can do voice searches. It comes with a built-in voice remote, so you don't have to type things out with a keyboard. Instead of the Xiaomi MIUI that we saw previously, it's a little cleaner. Again, a lot of more Google content built on in by default. So it should really appeal to users outside of China where Google services are blocked. Features in terms of the hardware, though, are still really similar to the previous Mi Box 3 and the 3S, that we reviewed just a few months back. The design is different, but essentially we are still packing a quad-core processor with the same 2 gigs of built-in RAM and 8 gigs of storage. So those specs are a little bit dated now, considering, again, they're very similar to Xiaomi's TV box from 2 years ago. So it's just a software that's been rehauled, now running on Android 8.1, having Google Play services by default, supporting 4K HDR content. So those are just some nice software additions that we have. And underneath it, we have just a quick start guide printed also in orange. Other accessories, including a proprietary charger, which uses this round plug. We also have a free HDMI cable, always a nice bonus to have, that has the Xiaomi logo on it, supporting 4K content, and the voice search remote. Alright, so moving over to a quick size comparison, here is the Mi Box S against the previous generation Mi Box 3S, and you can see the previous model was a little bit more round, but in terms of overall dimensions, they are very similar, so not quite as tapered off at the corners, but in terms of I/O, it's essentially the same. The same power port is used. We also have just a reversed USB as well as full-size HDMI. So overall, the Mi Box S is well constructed. It looks pretty sleek. It's relatively slim. At the same time, it feels quite solid. The remote does also feature a 5-way navigation toggle, and there's also a standard Android menu back key, volume controls. The top features that built-in microphone. Proceeding through initial setup, it tells us to have the remote be pretty close to the Mi Box and select OK. After which case, it will try to connect using Bluetooth. You'll hear a beep, and that means it's in the pairing process. It's now set up. And it seems we can transfer the content from an account if we have an Android phone or tablet. So we can log in with that and sync it. So we need to open up the Google app on our phone, which comes pre-installed. And then you would just select the Mi Box 4 on the list of devices that you see. And indeed, it says Mi Box 4 429, and we can just connect to this device, again, using Bluetooth first. And to verify the code is correct on both of these devices, I'm going to tap on Next. We can now connect to our device by basically sharing the Wi-Fi password from my phone over to the TV box. And now it's just copying all of my account details, including my Gmail, Play Store info, photos, all of that will be transferred over to this new device. That's the syncing process without having to, again, enter everything directly on the box itself. Home screen is a guide for entertainment, so that's where we can see types of entertainment services, options, and apps. And there's different channels such as YouTube, other Play Store services that we can add, it seems like, and what to play next as suggested will pop up. And of course, we have access to the Google Play Store for downloading new games, new media apps, anything that you would want to, just like on a phone. And here we are. This is the main UI. So at the top here features Assistant on the left-hand corner. That's where we can try searching for anything on the internet. Then on the top right-hand side, we have the clock. We also have settings that we can navigate through. The remote itself seems to be quite responsive. It's using Bluetooth, so you don't have to be pointing directly at the box to navigate. You can have a distance of up to 10 meters or 33 feet. So as long as you are within a room or two, you can be pointing anywhere and it will still be responsive. So it's a larger distance than a RF remote. So we have over here just some channels, including Netflix, which is built built in by default. You can also launch that using just the Netflix key on the remote, and just also HBO, Stars, ESPN, YouTube, CBS, Vudu, and more that you can add. Over here we also have some audio services like Spotify, and we can also customize channels to add even more content as separate rows, so each channel is really showing up as a different row on this main home screen. Now, the one thing that I am noticing though is the remote is not backlit. I kind of wish it was, because it could make it a little bit easier to see in the dark. The controls maybe take a few moments to get used to, and your casted content will take priority and begin just showing up on the big screen instead of the UI of the Android TV box here. But otherwise, I can also adjust things like the display properties, sound, the screensaver, the storage settings, and you can see that the overall UI here is definitely modified compared to just stock Android. So it's more than just slapping regular Android Oreo onto a device like on a phone, but it's been really customized to work a little bit better with scrolling lists using this remote control. Tapping on the menu key also brings up the list of apps that are installed on the box here. You can also get more by tapping on the Play Store up above. The output resolution by default is at 1080p, but I can also play back 4K content without any issues. Same thing goes with 3D stereographic videos, both on YouTube and on the memory itself that you may want to load up. So you can see the interface here, very clean, oversized keys for changing the volume and skipping or scrubbing. Browser here, again it takes us, looks like, to Chrome directly. Just like with YouTube, browsing is swift and responsive. I can open up multiple tabs without the browser slowing down. So that's our hands-on review of the Xiaomi Mi Box S. I think this is the best budget Android TV box as we head into 2019. It supports 4K HDR content. There is integrated Google support, so we have the Google Assistant search key built right on in. You can launch Netflix really quickly. Performance is really snappy and fast, despite the fact that the hardware hasn't seen much of an upgrade. But if all you're doing is streaming video content through, again, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, I think you'll be very satisfied. The fact that it is now integrated with Google directly means we have that built-in Chromecast 4K functionality, so it's like a Chromecast Ultra, but also we have a more powerful hardware that can do more than just mirror a screen from a phone. It can also, again, run apps by itself and has a really handy remote that you can use, which makes navigation a lot easier. So overall, I would say that for customers in the United States, in fact, customers around the world, unless you live in China, where the regular Mi Box with the original Chinese ROM might make a little bit more sense because there's more Chinese TV shows and content. Otherwise, I think that the Mi Box S here is going to be the version to get. You can find more details in the links down below, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.